is me, and I'm Casey, and I'm bossy, yeah? And we all know this, but this is a Sandy topic, and we pulled me and Monica pulled executive rank last week and said, "No, that's an Ann Dale topic. We're gonna spin it in." So this is a topic. We're spinning again.
So if it turns onto it again, then okay.
This we can do. This we're good at.
Sandy would be a big help as well on this, but yes,
she knows everything. Okay, I'm pretty much convinced.
Everything.
But yeah,
I can't find your Etsy store link anywhere, says Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead. Miss Lisa says.
So if you go to our QR code, however I can point to it, it will take you to our Linktree link. And once our Linktree link is there is the Etsy store button on that. I even think there's a button for the actual prepper guide to go straight to the prepper guide. But that's all we have on our Etsy store is our prepper guide. So if you get to the Etsy store,
then you found it.
Then you have found it.
There we go. There we go. Say it ain't so, Casey. Bossy? No way. Say it ain't so.
It is. It is.
Okay, so off-grid. Off-grid. What's your off-grid plan? Miss Ann, you have off-grid plans, I think. I feel like you have these plans. You have these things down. And so does Casey, because y'all live on the East Coast, right? So you get hurricanes. You get big things, storms, bad weather. You're kind of prepared that way for an off-grid lifestyle. So what is your number one thing if you're trying to help people? Let's just say someone's new to the area and you're like, hey, you've got to get prepared for off-grid type of life. Here's what you're going to need to do. This is first things first.
Huh.
Where do you go? What do you start with?
What do you start with? Where should you start or where did I start? Where you should start is water.
Yeah.
Being able to have water, because you'll be shocked at how much water welcome to my life. Yes, that's what
those bag liners. Yeah.
Fill your bathtub with liners. Yes, absolutely. Fill your bathtub and have liners and things. And we had coolers that we filled up. We have rainwater that goes in buckets that are outside. A generator, absolutely, a generator. Okay. See, Ginger would have been perfect up here tonight because she lives off grid 24/7. But water is my number one. Water was my biggest hole for the longest time. We do have a creek in our backyard, and I always thought, well, I can always flush the toilet, but I don't know how I would do drinking water, because when we have had really bad storms here before, we had flooding, and the flooding brought all of the animals that didn't make it and all of the oil from oil factories and tractors and pesticides from the farmland. All of that was in that water that came up. And so it's not like I can go out to the creek and dip up a bucket of water and then have something, even if I boiled it, to be able to.
Right.
It's pretty nasty. Ugh. So water. And then Ginger says generator. How about you, Casey? What would be your biggest thing?
I think I definitely am going to piggyback on you and say water. And I was the same way, that I was not prepared for stuff going out when we had some issues on the ice storm, I guess 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
A moment that sticks in my mind was actually from a moment of season 3, I think, of Hay Bale. And our friend Alicia over at Country Mama Musing challenged us to take 2 days, 48 hours, and act as if everything had gone. Electricity, power, water, and seeing if you can survive those 2 days, and then you can find your holes.
Uh-huh.
In that 48 hours, no electricity, no running water. See what plan you have in place. And ever since then, now I tried it for 48 hours, and that's where I kind of knew that I needed to order this. I needed to get this. I needed to have a plan of this.
Yes.
I encourage you to think about that. If you had to go 48 hours, no electricity, no running water, you can't use any of your conveniences in your home,
Mhm.
what would you do? How would you go about your day? Try it.
Mhm.
See, I think it's a good way to prepare and see how truly
It is.
prepared you are, with everything. Um,
It is a good way. Now we needed to make sure because we have a gas generator that we have an electrician came and well, I can't seem to speak, but an electrician did come and hardwire an outlet so that all we have to do is plug it into the house and turn off our box and it will run the house.
Oh.
It's not, we don't have to run a bunch of extension cords
Mhm.
and can fill a washing machine with ice cubes, help keep things cold, hold water when it melts, and then just put it in a spin cycle to drain it. That's true. That's a good idea. Um, Multi-fuel generator, make a gasifer for the generator to burn bits of wood in case you run out of your other fuels.
Okay.
Tamara,
ooh,
I
that's
haven't heard of that before. A wood burning. I've
Generator.
generator.
heard of like grills that have those wood pellets and heaters that have wood pellets, but I've never heard of a generator being powered by wood pellets. That's awesome. I've got
Nice.
as a city generator. Oh, are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
That's
That's
amazing. 8 days no power during the recent ice storm. Thank God for a generator. That's
Right.
right. And we also have a solar generator as
Mhm.
well, one that's large enough to be able to run most of the house. But, it does plug into the wall so that I can keep it charged up all the time. But
Mhm.
if it's storming and the sun's not out and it's raining like crazy, then a
Yeah.
solar generator ain't the perfect thing. Lightning
Well,
at night.
and before we go into more comments, you and your wonderful husband Worth were celebrities on a commercial for a generator company.
We
What's
were.
the company, and do you recommend them for people to look into? Is
It's
that the generator you have?
Opus generators, and they were wonderful to work with. We weren't paid, but they did give us a large generator that basically runs the house. So that was
Nice.
That's nice.
um, and it will run some of the solar generators won't run a refrigerator for more than like 30 minutes, but this one will. It'll run for a long time.
Okay.
And you can run everything but your dryer and the microwave. Believe it or not, the microwave takes a lot of electricity to run a microwave. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And a coffee pot. A coffee pot takes an incredible amount of electricity. So you have to have a little backup in that coffee making
I
stuff.
was gonna
Yeah.
say, that's a necessity right there. Speaking of holes, if I don't
Coffee.
have coffee, I'm not a nice person.
Yeah, I'm not a human till I have my first sip. It's
Oh
just
my
so,
gosh.
what are y'all doing? Hey, Paul Case. Hey, darling. So, Monica, as far as there have been times where we will get an alert,
Yep.
boil water, or somebody has a wreck down the road and flattens the telephone pole, and
Yeah.
you're out of electricity for 8 hours or till the next day or whenever. What do you do? Because you have a lot more farm animals than we do.
Yeah. So water really isn't I hate to say it's not a thing, but I guess because we have a lot of water storage that I
Yeah.
just normally use for my garden. I don't need it for my garden if we're out of power. Okay. We also have a tank. We have a pond that is in the back of our pasture that has never dried up. Knock on wood. never dried up. And I've been here for 12 years and, and I've seen through droughts, other people's ponds have dried up, not ours. So I feel pretty confident in the water situation. We don't typically lose power here, but when we have lost power, my first concern is usually, do I have enough knowledge in my head to cook foods that my people will eat? Because usually when we lose power or the grid's down for us, it's more like, what do I have to eat? Because my people are looking for food. Yeah. I've got lots of water stored up. They're going to drink their water. They're going to have their water. They're going to use their life straws. They're going to think that's a fun, neato thing. And that's going to be good for like 3 days. They're going to have a blast filling up their gallon, water drop and then watching it drip down and filling their that'll get old after about 3 days. But for those first 3 days, they're going to love that. Oh, I'm drinking dirty water and it's clean. So I don't care about that. It's the food, because if I don't have enough food stored or foods that they like, I think the part that gets me is that if I can't turn my phone on to look up a recipe, because normally here I am at 4:00. What am I going to do? Where's my recipes? I'm pulling up my recipes on my phone. So really lately for me, preparing for my family means putting food in the pantry that is shelf stable and making sure that I'm writing down the recipes that we go to most. Having ways to not depend on yeast and having my sourdough going at all times has been really important to me, and finding those good quality recipes that I can make from my brain. I know that I can make a batch of bagels now with no issue. So I think that's for me. It's the food stuff. It's the making sure I've got food prepared and making sure that I've got the recipes written down, because that's important to my kids.
Right. It is. And there's a whole playlist that I have on my channel called Be Ready's, and it is really cooking off grid. And there's a whole different, and you're going to be great, because I've seen outside where y'all build a fire and you're able to cook, and your boys are getting trained in feeding themselves and learning how to open a can without a can opener. And
that's what we're learning, though. That's where I feel like my holes were. Yeah, the whole Partnet crew is here. But yeah, I feel like that's where our holes were, that it's the food preparation for us, making sure that they can start a fire, to cook foods or to reheat the foods. Because, there's always people out there like, you got taco meat in your pantry, in your closet, and you have to reheat that. Well, first of all, you don't always have to reheat it. You can eat it right from the jar. But there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you're going to get botulism, you're going to die. Well, how about just heat it up then and you'll be fine. There you go.
Can I see the box?
Go for it. Step up.
Okay. That was me stepping on my soapbox. Okay. Botulism spores lives in most all foods. If you can properly, and it is sealed properly, you will not have the botulism.
Boom.
So that you can eat it cold out of the jar. But if you are so about the botulism, heat it back up to a boil, you A-okay. It cannot live in boiling temperature.
There you go.
So when you have canned leftover, because we call Monica the leftover queen, because she taught me how to literally, the stuff that you like, why not can the leftover? Why put it in a Tupperware in your freezer when you can it and you put it on your shelves and all that freezer space is opened up?
Well, not to mention, because what happens if everything goes down and you have no electricity? Then that freezer is not going to do you no good, because then you're going to have to eat 850 pounds of all the food you've been freezing.
No.
We all know what that's like. Raise your hand if you all know what it's like when you have a freezer go out, or someone left that doggone freezer door open and you have to eat 850 pounds of ground beef and steaks and chicken and little frozen pucks of soup that somebody threw in the freezer. Kate's gonna be having all those little pucks everywhere. He's going to be thawing out pucks of food, eating food all over the place. But we all know what that's like. But if you put it in your pantry, I'm pointing in my closet because that's where my canned food is. Put it in your pantry and just know that it's okay.
That's right. That's
You're gonna
right.
have to.
Oh,
Hands
that's
up
right.
hands.
Yep. And it does give me a lot of security to know that I have canned goods, that
Yep.
I know that we'll be okay. And I know for sure I'm going to be able to heat some up if I want to with
Mhm.
things that I have around the house. And because there was a time when I didn't prepare and that I was a city girl and I just you go to the grocery store, oh puck. What the puck?
We
Okay.
got a lot of those frozen pucks.
He
I
does.
Yeah.
Is right.
He's got those little pucks of rice, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's pretty genius though, I'm saying.
It is. It is. And see, that stuff, once it's thawed out, you just eat it cold if you want to.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm telling you, easy. But Anne, let's go back to you wanting us to be ready because
Yeah.
you do have a bunch of those
Yeah.
wonderful videos that went super viral.
Yeah.
Super
Entire playlist. Yep.
I
Um, uh, I have prepared a lot of stuff in my household because of those videos. Like one, yes, having crowns available for your nieces, nephews, kids is wonderful. But did you know you also could use them as a candle?
Yes, you can.
He be putting, by the way, Casey be putting crowns, and Eric was listening to his,
Crayons.
and he said,
Crown,
Monica, what is he saying? I was like, this
crayons,
dude is so East Coast. We can't even. It's a
crayons,
crayon
It's a crayon.
or a crayon, or for
Yeah,
Casey, it's a crown.
crayons,
a crown.
Crown,
crayons.
crayon.
It's a
It's
Crayola. A Crayola
he
crayon.
said, Casey's so cute. He said, a Crayola crown, Crayola crown.
Crown.
Eric's like, I
Well,
don't know
we
what
be
this dude
talking about words. I watched a podcast the other day. And how do you say, okay, this is
Darling.
how they say you're supposed to say it. Ramen noodles. How do you say it? I
I
say
said
ramen noodles.
ramen
Ramen.
noodles.
You say Raymond?
Ramen.
I
They're
say
saying somebody at home
an
is
O and an A together. I say, we'll get some ramen noodles. Ramen noodles.
Ramen. That's why I say
Okay.
ramen.
I say ramen. Ramen noodles.
Raymond, like the man, like everybody loves Raymond.
Like ramen noodles.
Crayon. That's right. Is a fast crayon. That's
Crayon.
right. Crayon. Crayon.
But
But
regardless,
you made the point.
crayon,
Crayon,
all burn.
crayons
burn.
you can use them to
As candles. Out. However,
but they
they
stink,
need
don't they?
to, they do stink really bad. They put off a terrible odor. So unless and I do say pecans, yes,
That's
Jesse,
true.
because that's what they are, is pecans.
The big
Um,
hand.
but anyway, I mean that's what I eat are the pecans. And I love them and they're wonderful and I cook with them and they're so good.
Pecan pie.
But there are a bunch of ways, and do if you want just for fun, really, most of them are shorts. Check out a Be Ready playlist on there. There's a lot of really good ideas that you might not think about that you're
Mhm.
having to think out of the box
Yeah.
to go, oh my gosh, I've got some dryer lint, or I have some cotton balls, and I have some alcohol, and I have some old cans, and I can make a stove, and
Yep.
that kind of thing. And if you're freezing to death, you might be able to figure it out. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. There's
Well,
lots
I
of
saved
people.
my dryer because of you, Miss Ann, now. Like,
Yes,
put it in
wonderful fire starters.
a Ziploc bag,
Me too.
push the air out of it so it's like kind of vacuum sealed in there,
Yeah.
and put it aside for a fire starter.
It's an awesome prep. Easy fire starter.
Well, I think the idea too is there's the playlist right there. I think the idea too is it's one thing to like see these ideas once or twice, but it's a whole nother thing to be able to do it. Like before I started processing my own chickens, I watched Joel Salatin process a chicken on a YouTube video probably 18 million times. All the views on that playlist on his is probably from me. I mean, I literally put the thing on pause, went outside, started to process one of the birds, got hung up on something, came back inside because I don't know why I didn't have a phone outside. Don't ask me why. pushed play on the video, watched it again. I was like, oh, got it. Went back outside and then proceeded to process, 10 more chickens. The point is that if you don't practice it, then it's not going to come to you as naturally when the thing hits.
That's right.
You always just fall back on what you know or what you've never done. You just can't do something you've never done.
Right.
Well, if you've never tried it. I mean, you're going to be trying it. I would hate to try something brand new in
an emergency.
An emergency. That's why everything, whether it's medical, like if you've never used natural remedies and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to get natural remedies and I'm going to go live off a grid and I'm going to do this. And then someone gets sick and you're like, you freeze and immediately you want to go to the doctor and go get antibiotics because that's what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're truly off grid and you want to try to handle it within house, then you can stop and think, okay, let me practice this. And that's for everything. Important. It's for medical, it's for fire, it's for eating, it's for water. Practice it
That's
now.
why I think that 48-hour challenge that Elisa had pushed to us is so important because you're having to practice these certain things that you feel that, oh, I would know how to do it. Because you really don't. When you get to that point and the blood's pumping, sometimes it escapes you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I bought those little bottles of water clarifying pills. I can't speak. Pills.
Yep.
And it's a 2-step thing, which I didn't know it was a 2-step thing because I thought I was getting 2 bottles, but it's not. And then I tried it actually on a live with a friend of mine. I tried it and I had some creek water and then I had some creek water that was treated right beside it. And it was terrible.
It's horrible, isn't it?
It was awful.
You're better off doing it with get a life straw. You're better off with those life straws and all those other things.
I didn't know. And I thought, well, I ain't drinking that.